Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you to Fridays with Pat. Thanks for spending some time with me. I see that Jason Brown is on. Good to have you on, Jace. Let's see who else we got on board here. Deshaun Tharp, what's happening, my man? George Bretting, Jeff Winship, Lee Dickinson, Miguel Mendoza, Mike Richwine, Scott Mazer, Sean Dooley. I got a couple people that are logging in right now, guys. We're going to give it just a minute. And a couple people that are seeing the screen but are yet to connect to audio. So we're going to start in just 2 minutes. But guys, share with me any success stories, from the people that are on right now. Anybody have a sale this week, a closing, or last week? Has anybody taken action with things like video email or a Facebook ad where you're starting to get clicks, likes, shares, and interest, driving people to your website? Has anybody taken the last couple classes I've covered, like time management and organizing your ideal day, and going back to your past client centers of influence and communicating with them, getting in front of them? Just curious to see if some of these things that we've talked about you're actually doing. Jeff Winship says, I have finally branded myself. That's awesome, Jeff. 2 closings last week, says Sean Dooley. Way to go, brother. Deshaun Tharp says he's got, hang on, let me just hit the record button. All right, we're recording. Deshaun Tharp says that he's got 4 new listings. This is all good stuff, guys. 2 closings last week. Sean Dooley, Deshaun Tharp also says, post videos to my LinkedIn and Facebook. Awesome. The Minnesota Lone Ranger, Jeff Winship, is fired up. I want to congratulate you guys. That's the most important thing I want to hear. Are you taking what you're being taught, applying them, and converting them into results? Because that's what it's all about. Some people just educate themselves to death. You know what I mean? They just fill their head. They love it, but it's all about action. It really is. And bodies in motion, stay in motion. Bodies in rest, stay at rest. Ask the physicist Newton. We talked about that theory of bodies in motion, staying in motion. Bodies at rest, stay at rest. That means when you're in motion, you're taking action. You're kicking in motion the law of attraction. So you're kind of combining physics there. Or at least I am, for the sake of example, physics with personal development. Or a spiritual known, if you will, the law of attraction. You will attract positive or negative people, situations, circumstances, things you think about most based on the thoughts that dominate your mind, based on the actions that you're taking. So those things are very important. I want to thank you. So welcome to Fridays with Pat, guys. I told you last week I was going to continue with just some internet marketing, branding, etc. I'm going to go a little bit slower. I am going to cover Facebook today a little bit slower, A to Z. Like literally, let's create a funnel. Let's create a sales funnel. Let's go on Facebook. One thing we do know, and if you've watched, all these little niche marketing companies that are now popping up, or people that are seeing success with Facebook are now trying to get in the space of teaching people. It works. Okay. It works. And it's very inexpensive. It's probably one of the, for the level of information that Facebook has on people, enables us to target people. Okay. But I want to reiterate that referral marketing, adding value to your past clients, for you real estate agents, adding value to your past clients and the people that doing open houses, working your farm, your area, right? Those are the most important things. For loan originators, all you're going to do is add, right? You're going to really look to add value to your existing realtors to get more market share from them, as well as introduce yourself in a way to new real estate agents to double the amount of realtor referrals you have. And the reason why, if my loan originators, and I had a conversation with woman in New England yesterday, her name is Shelly. I think she's going to either on, or she's listening, or going to join us. We talked yesterday. The bottom line is more and more people are coming to real estate agents pre-qualified. So there's the number of referral opportunities from a realtor to a loan originator is, say it's about 50% less today than it was a handful of years ago. Right. So because in loan originators, listen carefully as I say this, and this, that means that doesn't mean squash, the real estate agent approach to generating referrals. That means you have to double the number of realtors you have to have in your pocket to be able to generate the number of business leads, et cetera, from your realtor base. Okay. The question is, how do you do that? Well, we'll talk a little bit about that today, but that also should tell you that if people are getting qualified, it's because they're online. It's because consumers are going on and getting their answers online, right? They're getting educated. They have access to so much information today, niche products, credit score guidelines, overlays. I mean, it's there, right? You have to be the one educating them. When you do, you're going to capture that business, and it's so critical, to think of it that way, right? So let's talk about Facebook. As I do this, guys, if you wouldn't mind, just type in anything you would like me to cover today outside of this. I'd be glad to cover it. Always start our end our week. It's Friday, which kind of is the beginning of the week for most of you guys, right? This is when we're really, going to make some money this weekend, right? It's the end of the week for me. It's the beginning of the week for most of you on the call. But we got to have it starts with our emotions, our energy, our level of enthusiasm, period. End of story. That's your mojo, and if you go about executing, talking to people with a lack of positive emotion and energy in this business, you're dead in the water. Okay. I told you guys last week, you're losing deals that you probably aren't aware of. I gave you an example of a friend of mine that I referred to another friend of mine, who gave a really accurate number in terms of doing a comp for his house, and then disappeared, never followed up, never talked to him. The guy was hemming and hawing on whether or not to sell it because he really didn't want to sell it. Well, 6 months later, he's like, I have to sell this thing. I'm living in a 5,000 square foot house with me and my son. That's it, So he's got 350 grand of equity in it. He wants to sell it. Well, I went back and talked to him. He was going to use another realtor that he got introduced, right? And it was because that realtor was in his face, right? And he committed to using that person. Well, so I went and talked to my buddy. I didn't lash him for not following up. I just simply said, hey, my buddy has not signed a contract with this realtor, but he's been talking with XYZ person. And he's pretty far down the path with him. I'll see what I can do to help you. Have you talked to him since that first, a meeting? No. And he said to me, he goes, does he remember the number I gave him? Because I told him the new realtor gave him a number of 550,000. He goes, does he remember? That's the number I gave him. I said, it's not his job to remember. You know what I mean? 6 months later. And knowing my buddy, no, he doesn't remember. Okay. So I didn't remember yesterday. So we know that the key is in follow-up, guys. And that's apropos. It's ties into what we're going to talk about today. The money is in the follow-up. Let me say that again. The money is in your diligence. So to end that story, this past week, I had an opportunity to sit down with my buddy. We went to the gym. We worked out together. We grabbed a protein shake after. We sat at a stool, and I said, listen, talk to my buddy Rick again. I go, I mean when I tell you that he's the best thing for you. This other guy you're talking to is farming this other area, yada, yada, yada. Okay. And he gave you the same number, but he's also willing to go in and clean your home and stage it. And, you're not going to be able to do all this by yourself. He'll flip that bill. Oh, he will? Okay. All right, Pat, I'll talk to him again. Called my buddy. I actually wrote him a script to prepare him, for this meeting. Right. And here's the script I wrote him. I said, my buddy did mention, hey, if I find somebody, that's willing to buy this in the process, I don't mind taking care of him. But, kind of what he's saying is, would he go outside of the contract unless he finds the person that's going to buy it, he's not getting paid the full amount, and he's a naive guy, right? Great guy though. So I'm like writing this, so I've said, if you go there and Joe says, what if I'm able to find someone to buy the house while you're under contract? I'm okay with paying less, but if I find someone, can you put a line on him on our grave? If he brings that up, here's your response. I completely understand what you mean by that. And let me answer. And by the way, you real estate agents can use this script in many situations, okay? Because it's true. When it comes to listing appointments, etc. This is a script that I've in some way, shape, or form used for many years. I completely understand what you mean by that. Let me answer you by saying this. A good accountant, one that is really worthwhile, they pay for themselves, right? They have the knowledge outside of H&R Block that saves you far more money than what you would pay them to do their taxes. If they can mitigate $50,000 tax bill down to $10,000 based on their knowledge, and their bill to you is $2,000, you're still up $38,000. Same concept for a good attorney. Solid professionals pay for themselves. And when it comes to real estate, based on what I'm going to do for you to get this home sold for the maximum price, that's my trade. And when I've spent 20 years evolving right here in Webster, in our community, this is my farm area. In other words, if you sold this house by yourself, you did the staging, you did the marketing, you showed the potential buyers the house and worked them to build interest and excitement, you may sell this house, but for substantially less. Historically, FSBOs are 44% less than when you hire a realtor. To take it a step further, you hired another just Johnny Lunchbucket realtor that doesn't do anything, everything they possibly can. They don't flip the bill to get the things looking its best. They don't get in here and stage this thing right. They don't go the extra mile. They simply list on the MLS, field calls, show the property, and take offers. That's, by the way, 99% of the realtors that are out there. And candidly, why most consumers hate having a realtor win in any way, shape, or form, because in the end, they didn't bust their ass. They didn't drop the amount of money in marketing to get the house exposed to the masses, especially when it comes to higher end homes like yours. My point is this, Joe. I will pay for myself. I will have this home clean, staged, ready to go. Your net, so that your net is the most that you can possibly get. And I want to assure you that. Does this make sense? That's called a tie down. Guys, when you present a point, I listen carefully. This is a sales tactic. It's called a tie down. Whenever you make a point, if they don't agree with you, you need to know, because you don't move forward unless you can convey that point, because that means they're not following you. And if they don't follow you, you're not going to get the deal. So when you make that point, you simply say, Joe, be honest with me. Does that make sense to you? Yes. Yes. Okay, great. Boom. Then you go to the next subject. Now, let me share with you what I'd like to do that no one else will. Pat said you were going to have somebody come in and clean this house. I know we've talked a little bit about staging. Take that off your list. I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to flip that bill. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm going through, and I'm literally telling a realtor that's been selling real estate for 20 years, okay, how to structure this meeting, because I got them. This is the last opportunity, okay? Once listed, MLS, Facebook ad network, existing buyers, open houses, just listed marketing, pre-launch marketing, etc. And with some notables down there, some notes. So he went over there and did his deal. Lo and behold, he's getting the listing. And I confirmed that because I had my buddy Joe over last night for dinner, made him a nice pasta dinner. Okay. I had to dig into the trenches and rip away that other realtor to help my buddy out. And again, and I don't mean this to sound negative about this particular guy, Rick. I don't, because he's a fantastic guy. And he knows his business. He knows the real estate. But, you can make a great hamburger, but if you can't get people to buy it, it doesn't matter how good your hamburger is. It doesn't matter how good of a realtor is, or if you're a loan originator, how well you know the mortgage business. What matters is how many people will buy your knowledge. You know what I mean? You got to make sales. And he loses. I know that he could be doubling his income if he was just doing the right things, namely follow up and truly addressing the real fears and concerns that people have. And if you don't get them out, they're going to go use someone else. Because in this game, guys, the average consumer looks at most real estate agents and says, man, they're going to make a ton of money and they're going to do squat. They're nothing more than a commodity because it's going to go online. And, so now I'm going to hire the person I like the most, and the person that follows up the most, right? It's our job to differentiate. It's our job to say what you're going to do that no one else does, or most people don't do, to go above and beyond and earn that deal, So I hope that makes sense, guys. I thought I'd bring that up as we closed last week's conversation as it results of that, because you're losing deals that you probably aren't aware of. Oh, let me just add one more thing. So I got a text from Rick. How do we look? I said, good. So, I'm behind the scenes. I'm still, helping him cement that deal. It's a nice commission for the guy, So I said to Rick, the realtor, I said, you are to call him every day from now until that listing is signed next week. Okay. He said, well, what do you mean? I said, is it like pestering? That can be like pestering or annoying? I said, no, it's not. Top salespeople get in people's faces, period. And I don't mean the bad way, but think of something, and it may be a question. Hey, Joe, quick question for you. I was thinking about your house last night. Is that sauna room that you built off, just out of curiosity, did you get a permit for that or not? Because I need to know that now. No. Oh, okay, cool. All right. I was thinking a lot about your pool in the back. It's got some snow on it. It may behoove us to open that up. I've got a pool guy. Don't worry about it. I'll take care. I go, I don't care what you say, but talk to him. That's evolving the relationship. Don't assume, because my buddy Joe said to him, yep, just need a couple days to think about it. Let me talk to you on Monday, right? Oh, well, if you want to convert that person, you need to be in front of their face every day until that contract is signed. Think of a question to say or something you want to add to it, right? Bring them some kind of good news, or tell them you've done a little more research, right? Because the other guy didn't do that. The other guy hasn't talked to him either. Isn't that unbelievable? Potentially, if he double dips, finds the actual buyer, it's a $30,000 commission. And the guy who was going to give a listing to, hey, has not talked to him in the last 2 months. Right? It's unbelievable to me. I hope you guys are not doing that. Okay. Good is the masses. I've been in this industry for a long time, and it's truly unfortunate what the masses do. Let's talk about Facebook, guys. Okay. Facebook's a great way. If you're a real estate agent, what should you be marketing right now on Facebook? Number one is the valuation of your property. What's my home worth? Facebook funnels worked for many years, and it's going to work today, especially because home prices have gone up another 7%, right? So there's a lot of value, and it's our job to take people off the edge, right? If they're deciding, him and him, maybe we should list, it's our job to say, hey, let's take a look at the value. You know what I mean? So it's a great funnel to do on Facebook. I'm going to show you what I did in Kathy Sarmento's account. Kathy lives in Northern California, has been doing real estate for 20 plus years, right? Very, very solid real estate agent, a Spider client. I went in her account. I built a little funnel, dummy funnel, and we've also built her website. So I'm going to show you how I created this funnel right in the Spider Pro. I'm going to show you how to convert it from the Spider Pro links to a coolkathy.com extension, so that she's driving people to click on her website, not the Spider generated link, right? And then we'll go to Facebook and place the ad. All right. So what's your home worth? A good one. You want to obviously market properties. Okay. You want to market properties. I'm going to show you a simple way to how to do that as well. You can market what those are conversion campaigns, people that you're trying to find buyers or sellers, right? You should also be thinking about just simply taking blog posts and doing, and maybe you can do a boosted post with this, not necessarily an ad, but maybe consider an ad too. Maybe run it for just 1 week, spend $20 to do what's called a traffic campaign. Traffic campaign is just content, right? So, if I look at, let me go to Kathy's website, coolkathy.com. If I look at her blog area, you can take this. Should you sell your home? You can just, if you're like tight on time and you don't have time to create a funnel, just take this link right here, do a boosted post on Facebook and or an ad, and market this page, right? Market this blog, or market another blog. Market the tax, the tax one we did. Tax bill explained, right? So that's just that's called a traffic campaign, which you're just talking about information that most people, would enjoy reading, or, popular topics, etc. Okay. So let's just, if you're in mortgage industry, what's going to work for you guys today? Well, a couple things. Number one, portfolio mortgages targeting self-employed, et cetera, is a big deal today, right? I mean, if you really created a video and used a story of a recent, success, or you used a hypothetical, John and Mary, guys, let me give you a quick example. What I mean by what is a portfolio mortgage? Portfolio mortgage is when a banking institution uses their own money, okay, to fund loans. These are typically done with people that are like self-employed. Why? They're not W-2. Their risk posture is a little bit different, and they have got to look at the fact that they can grow their banking relationships and ask you to bank with them, etc., to fund people that are potentially self-employed, dinged up credit, etc. It's completely their money, completely their decision. They have their own guidelines. They're not Fannie directed guidelines, right? So if you're a small business owner and you're looking to get a mortgage, I had a client, his name was Johnny and Mary, right? And Johnny and Mary were both self-employed, 8 year, one owned their business for 8 years, one five. One had $200,000 a year in revenue, and one had $500,000 a year in revenue. But with a good solid accountant, when you look at the legal tax deductions, it brought their income to right around $75,000. Now, this particular John and Mary wanted to buy a $400,000 home, right? How do you do that with no W-2s, etc.? These are some of the products that we have to offer. Put your first, last name, and information, and I'll walk you through what we did, how we do it, and how we may serve you, to get them into their mortgage, right? So, I mean, that's a good one. This jumbo specialty products, low down, no down payment mortgages, and certainly mortgage professionals. And I'm going to kind of I'm talking a lot directly to my realtors. Pardon me. So I've been talking a lot to my realtor clients on the call. I am going to tell my loan originators, the best possible strategy that'll work for you guys to grow your realtors at the end of today. Okay. So let me just look at the questions real quick, see if we have any questions or comments. Okay. Real quick, Jeff Winship says, I spent 9 hours on Sunday and created my own credit repair autoresponder. It's just not compatible with Spider, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. Well, Jeff, we can take a look at that. So let's just take what I did here is I went into Kathy Sarmento's Spider account and I clicked create new landing page, which when you do that, you see there's a bunch of different designs, right? If I'm going to do a video, I like this wheels on the bus one, right? I just do. So depending on whether you're going to do video or not will determine which landing page you want to use, okay? So I chose that wheels on the bus. I named it home value, right? And if you look at this, right, you'll see I clicked edit this page, right? And I went to Kathy's website. I just did a screenshot of her logo. So her logo was on it. And I just went down and I put some bullet points in. Zillow will not get you an accurate number. No, and this is a scary video that Zillow is getting, lawsuits now on their estimates because they're way off in terms of the numbers. And in some cases, they're way too high. Other cases are really far too low. So when people are listing a price of a home, and the consumer, the potential buyer, does a Zillow estimate on it, and it's $100,000 less, they're shying the buyers away. So there's a lot of problems with Zillow and its estimates, right? So there's an opportunity for people to get a true estimate, and there's a lot of people on the fence. That's again why it's a good time to do this kind of funnel. So I just went in and edited this, to change the video out from the wheels on the bus go round and round. You just click on the YouTube link and you erase the one that's in there as a placeholder. You take your video and you click, you paste it in, click apply, and you're good to go. I think at this point, you guys know how to, use these. I mean, you can click any area and just once you click on an area, you edit it using this little editor here. And once you make a change, you click apply and save, right? Okay. So I clicked on editing. I've got this. I created this funnel in here because I'm not a code writer. I don't know, HTML, Dreamweaver, or CSS. I mean, I don't know any of that stuff. So I'm going to use what Spider provided me to create the page. But I also learned from Spider Media that when you go to market this thing, you don't want to promote this link. This is a Spider CRM link. You want to drive traffic to your website, which is why I encourage all of you to have us build your website. Okay, because we built this bridge and code that communicates between the Spider Pro and your website. So I go to Kathy's. I log into Kathy's WordPress site that we built for her. I clicked on landing pages. Right. I click on add new landing page. Now I have the opportunity to name this subdirectory, this landing page, whatever I want. What am I going to name it? I'm going to name it based on my keyword research. I want it to eventually rank, organically on Google, Bing, Yahoo, etc. So I may do the research and find out that, let's just go Zillow home value, whatever city she's in, right? Sacramento, right? Or just Zillow home. Kathy, coolkathy.com/Zillow home value. The users typically, they're not going to just look at this thing and at the top. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you actually name the landing page. There's massive value in doing this. The keyword phrases people in that community are typing as it relates to finding out the value of their home. It might be, how to determine my home value. Okay. You'll see here that anything you create in Spider now is in a drop down, right? So I can come in here and look at the landing page I created, which is, it's named home value. You see, that's what it's named in here, home value. Anything you create in here will populate in here. Okay. So when I click publish, it's going to create a link, coolkathy.com/how to determine my home value. And then then I'm not going to show you. Then she can actually put it physically on whatever area of her website she wants. Okay. So let's go to Facebook now. We just want to create an ad. Pardon me. Start over. All right. So when you look at this, gang, right? Somebody asked me last week, right? I'm not going to go over, use the rest of our time explaining just these blocks, right? Okay. I always recommend traffic campaign because it's driving people to a landing page, right? So if it's driving people to a landing page, let's just go to, an area of Kathy's. Right. Let's just take a look at one of these. Right. So this big beautiful house or this house, whatever the case may be, right? I could take people right here. So again, as far as the Facebook ad, whether we're marketing, home valuation landing page, or you're doing you're marketing a particular property you have listed, or somebody else's listing for that matter, you're going to see there's the link, right? So let's go over to Facebook. So my point is this, when you create a landing page like this, right? Oops, let me back up. It's tied to your CRM, so you can do the autoresponders. What's the key to marketing? It's follow-up, right? So when they click find out now, boom, first, last name, email address, they click here, it's now tied to your autoresponders, right? Which you'd obviously have been trained how to set up, right here in this action. Then there's videos all over the place in your back office on this, right? So I certainly am not one to, if I got 100 people clicking on this, I'm not going to call 100 people. I'm going to put a qualifier in there and a link. If you're serious, click on this link. And that's why we built the intelligent link feature in your email, so that you're further qualifying people. Now, if they put their information in, they got the follow-up email and then took some form of action, those are the people I'm going to call. Okay. because I don't have time to rummage through people. Like, no, I was just looking, you know what I mean? I don't have time for that. I'm working my referrals. I only want to talk to, I don't mind 10 no's out of 50 dials, right? Or I'm not interested, but I do mind 100. You know what I mean? It's too much. My time's too valuable for that. That's me. Some people that got nothing going on, by all means, call them all, right? So, my ads manager, traffic campaign. So my point is, you want to pick traffic campaign because you already have the landing page built that's tied to your autoresponder, et cetera, in that fashion. All right. Campaign name, cool Kathy. Ad set name. I can just name this one. Okay. I want to drive people to my website. Okay. Audience. Kathy Sarmento brought up a good point yesterday in my conversation with her, right? You choose obviously you guys choose your location, right? So if you're in, okay, Sacramento, California, 25 mile radius. So choose your area and your radius you want to market to. Audience, And again, I'm in stuff that Chelsea does for Harbor Hill, so that's why you see all this stuff populated. These are some of the strategies that she uses, for them. So you'll see that all pop up, I'm going to go to behaviors down here. Detailed targeting. Realtor.com. Trulia. And Zillow should be the first three you do because, let's be honest, there's, millions of searches just, after that. Now you can go to, so you're just going to, again, your homeowners, right? Spend time on your audiences. Start typing in, I don't know, 50, 60 different key and really begin to define who you want to target. Okay. If there's a certain, age, income, whatever you want to really think about, start doing that. Really define your targeting and then save that audience. Make sure you save that audience. Okay. When you create them. All right. I'm not going to mess with Chelsea's account. See how it says save this audience? You save it. That way, if you want to come back and do another ad and target that same group, you don't have to go through the time it takes to really defining a custom audience. And for most of you, you do this one time. You know who you want to target. Okay. So you're always going to target the same audience. Okay. Now you may want to come in and just continue adding to it, spending out, is there something I'm missing, etc. Okay. Just do automatic placements. That's where the ad will show on their Facebook top side, whatever. Okay. Budget and schedule, determine your budget. Okay. Somebody did lifetime budget, just do daily budget. Run my ad set. Or again, if you want to run it every day, run it every day. If you really want to optimize your dollars, set your start, stop times and dates. Okay. I'd highly recommend you do that. Find out what are the best times to market. And by the way, when you run an ad and you look at, the results, when you look at the clicks that people are getting, you'll find out what percentage of them are males, what percentage of them are females, right? And if you find that 90% of them are females, well, target females from now on. You know what I mean? If you find that 90% of the people are clicking between, 6 p.m. and midnight, right? Don't run ads all day long and get whacked over the head by Facebook. Run ads from 6 to 10. 5 days a week. That's how you optimize your dollars. Okay. You can only do that by learning and getting it out there and making things broad and then beginning to narrow things down to optimize your ROI. Okay. Yep, link clicks optimized for delivery. Will deliver ads to people who are most likely to click on your ads link and load the landing page. You'll need a pixel installed on your landing page, okay, which we've done because everything we've taken Kathy's Facebook pixel. And if I look at, let me just go, whoops, let me go to her site. This is again for tracking. Let me just scroll down. And there's her pixel code, Facebook pixel code, right in the head section of our website. Okay. Continue. If you're a real estate agent looking to market a house, I like the carousel. Give a couple images, what their appetite, interior, exterior, land, lot, right? Or maybe a master, a kitchen in the exterior, okay? Or a slideshow, you can do that too. Or video, okay? Let's just pick carousel for the time being. Yeah, I'll just do single image just for sake of example and time today, okay? Images. So you can look at, obviously if you're marketing a particular property, you're going to want to grab the images of that property, right? Upload an image. Let's just grab, I'm just going to grab any image for now. All right. You want to pick up the 3-4 images because they'll rotate them, they'll split test them. Okay. So once you get your images, get 3, 4, 5 images. Okay. You'll also find that certain images get will get more clicks, and we don't know the answer until you run the ad. That way you pause the ones that are not getting the clicks and you focus on the ones that are. Okay. Typically it's 2 that are really jamming and the other ones are they're lagging. And by the way, typically the ones you wouldn't expect them to click on. I don't know why. It's just a phenomenon, right? Or destination URL. Where are they going to end up when they click on that image or learn more? Where are they going to end up? This is where you go to your website, right? Let's just go to Kathy's. Now, I didn't click publish on that home valuation thing because it's Kathy's website, right? So I'm not going to use that home valuation example. I'll just take one of these pieces of property right here, okay? Copy and paste, right? Let's go here. Boom. Okay. So now it's rendering it on Facebook. It's grabbing the information. Boom. There it is. Okay. So you write your ad copy. Hook out this beauty. Click learn more. Get details if you're interested. All right. All right. Number 1, create urgency. You know what I mean? New home coming soon. Listing launches April 1st, right? That's a pre-launch. There's nothing better than that. You know what I mean? People know there's not a lot of inventory. Consumers know that at this point, right? Buyers know that at this point. So your pre-launch is very important to build up that stable. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know what? Let me be the first one to see this. Great. Are you pre-qualified? Great. Go get pre-qualified. Then I'll show you. Right. So you're able to now with low inventory, you're able to do the massive takeaway, create massive urgency, and that just benefits you and the home seller because bottom line is people are not going to dick around with price. Okay. display link, you can just put coolcathy.com, right? Your website. Okay, that changed it, coolcathy.com. All right, put features, 5-bedroom, 5-bed, 4-bath. Okay. Now, if I'm a realtor, okay, I'm going to leverage time and money. I'm going to go to my loan originator partner that I treasure the most and say, want to split want to split this ad? I'll co-brand you on this Facebook ad. Hell yeah. It may only cost you, I'm just going to run it. It's going to be, $30 a week, $40 a week, or maybe instead of five, I was going to do it for $5 a day. I'll do it for 10. You kick in 5 a day. I'll kick in 5 a day, perfect. Right. So you can co-brand, where that person say, click here to get approved to, financing, financing. So if it's a $3 million house, like, click here for jumbo loan financing options, right? That's why it's really important to have a team approach when it comes to marketing. You save time and money. You're leveraging each other, your brains, your money, right? Got your pixel code there, right? So this is it, guys. You know what I mean? Confirm, and you launch it, right? You come in and look at the numbers. It's simple. And I'm recording this, so this will be on my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I mean, you're going to get them automatically now. It's just a better way to do it. So it's emailed to you. Go to YouTube, type in Pat Fenton. And you'll see my picture. And this one right here, I just started this YouTube channel. Instead of driving people to Spider, I'm going to now take them to, this is just for my customers, so my YouTube channel. So subscribe, okay? Come to my YouTube channel, subscribe, so that when I upload the video, boom, it gets emailed right out to you. We'll also put it in the back office as well, okay? That's Facebook. So those are some concepts. What should you be doing? Now, I told you in the beginning, I want to talk to my loan officers for a few minutes, okay? And let me see if Jason's on with us real quick. Let's see. No, I don't see Jason Brown. I see his name, but I don't hear him. Yeah, are you on, Jace?
I am.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good, pal. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Real quick, I want to answer a couple thoughts before I have you go. Michael Richwine says, my Facebook ad manager doesn't look anything like this. Is this out of the app or something else? This is just regular online. You know what? Facebook and Google does this both, depending on the browser you have, the versions you have. They're constantly changing the user interface. It follows the same premise. You know what I mean? It's the same chunks of information, but believe it or not, it's a little frustrating that, that some people have different user interfaces than others. Sean Dooley, ClickFunnels asked me about ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is, a generic way to create landing pages, which, you can create landing pages and, funnel. You have all that. You have a comprehensive CRM with Spider that enables you to create funnels, all right, and drive people to your website. Now, the owner of ClickFunnels will say websites are dead. And as further in our industry, there sure as hell aren't. If I'm selling T-shirts, I don't need to go to a website. Send me to a landing page, right? But when it comes to the mortgage and real estate business, where you want blogs, you want interaction, you want testimonials, and you really, are selling a high ticket, don't listen to ClickFunnels when they tell you that websites are dead, because it's not in all industries, certainly not yours, okay, at all. Jim Haley says, do you need a website created by you for the advertising you just demonstrated? Yeah, Jim, I think you and I talked about this, If you can't connect your CRM to a website, why you're not going? People don't just show up on your website. So too many people focus on making their website look good instead of how can I market my website and get pages of my website pushed in front of the local community through Facebook, through email, through blogging, etc. So I'm driving people to the website. Great marketing companies don't just magically appear and they're driving, they're advertising, they're connecting, they're blogging, they're having that. That's why we named the company Spider, that spider effect on their website. It's your job. So it's the door knocking. It's the online door knocking by doing sales funnel marketing and getting it out there. And that's why I spent time on Facebook. So you always want to have and marry your website to your CRM, which is, again, the only reason we created a website product is we had to. We have to really do it the right way, the best way. That's why we did that. So Lee Dickinson. So I am creating a landing page that will be used in a Facebook ad and putting that landing page on my website. Good. When they click on the ad, it's taking them to a second landing page that is on my website. Am I following this correctly? Well, when they see a Facebook ad, as soon as they click on learn more, they're going to your website. Or, I'm sorry, they're going to that destination URL. Now, if you want that destination URL to be your homepage, okay, I wouldn't do that because people aren't looking for general information. They're looking for specific information. So when you do a specific ad, you take them to what that content's all about based on that ad copy. In other words, Lee, I know you're an insurance agent. If you created a sales funnel that was, let me just think, five, two things you can do to get, XYZ insurance, you want to take them to that page that has that video or that content that are the things, you know what I mean? So that's relevant to whatever that ad is, if I'm making sense. So back to my loan originators, I sit here and I interview and I listen a lot, guys. I do. I listen to what people do. I'm always asking questions. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Right? And when I ask the question to my loan originators, I say, on a scale from 1 to 10, where are you at in terms of, how satisfied you are with the number of real estate agents you have, referring you business? Oh, always can do better, Pat. Always can do better. Some people say I need way more, right? For the obvious reasons of the things we talked about. So I say, all right, let's talk about that for a second. And my realtors, I really would like your feedback. I really would like your responses to this too. This would be great. So I say, well, what do you do? You want to get realtors. What is your strategy to generate more realtor relationships, right? How many calls a week are you making right now to new realtors, strangers you don't know? Guys, when I tell you that number's always less than 5, it's unbelievable to me, the level of call reluctance people have. Call reluctance comes from fear of failure, but it predominantly comes from not knowing what to say or not believing that they're going to give a crap about what it is you're about to say and you're prepared to say. For example, you're like, all right, you're sitting there by yourself. You wake up in the morning, you say, man, I got to get some new realtor relationships. I got, 17 hours to kill, let me call them up, and you give thought to what it is you're going to say. You don't write it down. You don't internalize it. You just give thought to it. This is how most people operate, right? And that thought is, all right, hey, John, this is, Susie Cream Cheese with XYZ Mortgage. I see that you sold a property on 2125. How are things going for your business? This is actually a live example. How are things going for your business, right? If I'm a realtor, I'm probably going to hang up right down in there. I mean, a top realtor. Okay, how are things going? Is there anything I can do to help you? I'd love to meet with you, tell you about what we do, how we do it, etc., and see if we can be a match. Does that sound fair? All right. Now, if I'm a realtor, okay, that's probably the 15th call I've gotten already that week by some loan originator that called me again with nothing of substantial value to me. Okay, I've already got three loan officers. I got one sitting 3 feet from me inside the office when I go in the office, my in-house loan originator, right? So I got 3 loan originator clients. I've got one in-house. Why should I meet with you? And most loan originators just don't know what to say. And then they go back in the offices that do know, or the brokers they know, and they grab it, they get a stack of bagels, right? And they go in there and they do lunch and learns. What are we trying to learn? something about a mortgage industry, a new guideline that came out, right? And you know who's sitting there eating those bagels and listening to you? Crumbs dripping all over the place, right? The people that do about one transaction a year. Okay. We know that. So, you know, about 6 months ago, I grabbed some people that have been Spider clients for a while, and Jason's one of them. Jason's on the line. I said, Jace, there's a much better way to approach realtors. Want transactions and they want lead gen. Unless you're talking about generating leads to them or giving them business, you're not going to get the good ones. And the good ones, it's better to have 5 good ones than 50 ones, you know, that do very little to any business, which again, this is a 95-5 business. 5% of the realtors do 95% of the business. You want more of those 5%ers, okay? So I said, Jace, let's create, you know, now Jason and his girlfriend, fiance Tanya, they spent a lot of time with me. They you know, I coached them for 5-6 months, right? And I still coach them to this day. But in any event, they really learned internet marketing. They learned it. They were sponges and they got involved, right? So I said, let's go out there and let's have a new approach. Let's teach realtors how to generate more leads in business. So here's a phone script. Here's a meeting script. Let's see how this kind of conversation goes, right? So I brought Jason. Are you there? Are you still on audio, or did you leave?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, I just, you know, I brought this up because yesterday Jason and Shelly Akazuski out of Providence, Rhode Island, I think Providence, Shelly, we had a 3-way conversation, you know, because you know, what we've been able to do with Jason, you know, he's starting to implement in a more scientific way, in a exactly a scripted way to do this. And he had a big call. So the other night we were prepping. I gave him the script. He locked in the script. I gave him one slide and a talking point to deal with. And I don't know, Jason, you'll have to tell the audience here on the call what the volume was of those realtors, what level of success they are, how long they've been in the business, and what got you to get in front of them. And then, you know, a little bit about your meeting. I thought it'd be good for you to share with the individuals on this call. And I would like to hear this from your feedback from a realtor's perspective as well as a loan originator. But go ahead, Jace.
Yeah, so I've been working with it's a husband and wife team, and they've been in the real estate industry probably, gosh, it's been every bit of 20 years. And he's, you know, a 3rd or 4th generation farmer in the area, even though he's not in farming, but their name is kind of a legacy here in this area. And as I've gotten to know him over the years, we were having lunch a couple of weeks back, and I was just sharing with him, you know, what we're doing with Spider and the online digital marketing and so forth. And he just was kind of sitting there just with a perplexed look on his face, like, how do I do this? And then finally he just said, you know, can we sit down with you and Tanya to get educated on this? And so, you know, he reached out to me for that. And so yesterday we finally got together, sat down, and one of the slides you gave me was the ladder, you know, just printing out, you know, what we need to do, family, health, you know, money, market. And they were just sucking this up like sponges. It was surreal to see that, you know, that this knowledge, I don't want to say we were taking it for granted, but we've learned it and have been implementing it, and it's been working. Now people around us are starting to see that we're taking our business to another level, getting success, and people are coming to us and asking us questions. That script that you gave me, it really kind of just step by step educated them in a manner where it wasn't like I just threw the elephant at them and told them, you know, to swallow it. It was more just piece by piece, as in a position where they can digest it and understand it. And they really appreciated, you know, the hour we spent with them, just showing them, you know, some of the basics, nothing even really too complicated, but just Facebook ads and some of the funnels that we put together. I mean, it was really good for me and really opened up my eyes to how I can get in front of more real estate agents and share this beautiful knowledge that really does make a difference. And like Pat was saying earlier, you know, partner up and do some co-marketing and kind of divide and conquer. So that's what we've been doing as of late, and we've been getting in touch with more realtors than ever and getting more transactions into escrow. So it's really been a good thing. I was going to touch on one other thing you said. You know, if you're an LO and you're just getting started, you're making all these calls to your real estate agents. Well, I've been doing this for 25 plus years, so I'm not necessarily making those type of calls anymore. but guess what? Other LOs are. And I've got good, loyal real estate agents I've been working with for years that are having agents calling up and saying certain things to them about educating them on how to get more business. And, you know, as good of a relationship I have with them, you know, I'm starting to feel this pushback from my own loyal realtors. So if anything, I feel like I don't have a choice but to go out and educate, you know, my partners as we go out into this new digital world of marketing and real estate.
Oh, very good. You know, and I don't know how many loan originators we have on the call, but if you are a loan originator, do me a favor that if you're on this call, just write the word loan originator. Write the word loan originator, because we're we're taking it another level with our loan originator clients. We're creating an academy for them. It is a certification process where you become a Spider Media digital expert, and something you can actually put on your business cards, and you will be completely, you know, scripted up and got this down to a complete science if you want to go out there and really dominate your realtor base, and also do a better job at communicating with your past clients, people. You know, it's just a separate thing. A majority of what we're doing moving forward as a company, Spider, is working with our LOs to help them bring this knowledge and information to the real estate agents. And for you real estate agents, I mean, can you imagine you're sitting here waiting for Fridays with Pat, right? Now, granted, we have customer service support, et cetera, but wouldn't it be nice to have a loan originator say, hey, can you just help me get started on this one thing? You know, and they could actually help you. You know what I mean? It would be nice to have somebody in your local market there to do this with, not only in terms of getting clarity, but also actually doing the joint marketing together, you know. And if two people, like when Jason went in and he talked to this guy, said to him yesterday, who do you work with? He said, well, name my companies, you know, that I work with, Spider Media. It's like, great, we're going to sign up with Spider. He didn't have to sell it, you know what I mean? Because he believed in the concept and he believes in Jason, right? So, I mean, they're going to become a client. Now, the best thing that can happen is going to happen. They'll be marketing together like you should be, you know, and they will learn from the same system, which now can help enrich that relationship. So, all good stuff, guys. George Bredding. So Kathy Sarmento says, here's a lender hook phone call. How many of your clients are in adjustable rate mortgage? Don't know. If I send you a piece, can you broadcast to your sphere? You know what, Kathy, I'm going to bring you on the line. Let me see. I'm going to unmute you, Kathy Sarmento. Go ahead, Kathy. You there?
Yes, I am, Pat.
What's happening, gorgeous?
Oh, nothing but good things.
Awesome.
So my thought was the whole reciprocity thing.
Yeah.
If you're not real familiar with the realtor and you haven't done business with them before, if you give them something that they can use that makes them look good, that they don't have to create, because a lot of agents aren't really good at, you know, marketing pieces. Give them something nice that they can send out that, you know, about the Fed's raising rates 2 more times this year. It's already gone up a little bit. You know, if you have an adjustable rate mortgage, now's the time to look at it. Home values are up, which will support refinancing, because a lot of people that got into adjustables did it because that was the only way they could at the time, or they were taking advantage of the artificially low pricing.
Right.
But now it's going to come back to bite them. So it helps the agent take care of their clients, and they may not know that somebody refinanced into an adjustable or took out a second. And this is a great opportunity to put something in front of them that is advertising this lender that's their safety net, that's going to take care of them.
Yep, absolutely. Good idea. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate your help again yesterday too, and your insight, Kathy, from a realtor's perspective. Kathy came on last week and talked about a loan originator that called and wanted to sit and have a cup of coffee, and she said yes. Why? Because the approach was really done well, and it was all about how they can help Kathy grow her real estate business, right? And that was the focus of their actual meeting. You know, that's just human nature. That's the law of reciprocity. It's not here's my products, because especially today, guys, products have become more commoditized. Granted, some people have, you know, better products, slightly better interest rates, you know, slightly better underwriters and processors, but that only goes so far when it comes to initiating that relationship, you know. because then it's just you saying you have better processors and underwriters. You really truly have to take an angle of helping. So we're boilerplating that and putting it into a coaching / certification process for our loan originators, which is something completely separate than this. So it's hardcore coaching by me. Guys, for those loan originators that wrote loan originator, if you want to have a one-on-one with me to talk about that, let me know. That concludes today, guys. Let me ask you a question before we hang up. What I want to know is this: what was your golden nugget for today? I know Kathy, you talked about it yesterday when we were on a call. You said, when I go to seminars, I go to webinars, I attend these things, and she goes, education is, you have to constantly improve. You have to constantly learn and grow, which we all know. That's why you guys are all here. But she always says, I always learn at least one thing that I can apply that I believe in that I think was really, really good. Even if, 50, 60% of that I really didn't know or already knew that or already was doing it. But if I get that one thing, man, it was worthy of my time. What was your golden nugget today, guys, on this call? What was your golden nugget? I want to also say hi to Sandra Johnson, Scott Mazur, Sean Dooley, Sherry Wakowitz. Good to have you, Sherry. What was your golden nugget? Kathy says the right use of landing pages and using the autoresponder. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so when you click the actions page, so you'll create your autoresponder in the autoresponder section, right? First, you got to create the email sequences. So you create the content, and if you have a 3-series email autoresponder, then you go to autoresponders, right? You click, add a new autoresponder, right? And once you create your new autoresponder, let's just call this home value autoresponder, then add a step, boom, immediately they get 0 is right away. Then you click on, the first email, which is the, let me just select one here, right? The second step, the following day, I want to give them another one, or the following week, whatever your time sequences are. Then you choose the second one, right? Then you choose the third one and you click close. So now you have an autoresponder. But if you wanted to also make sure that, you call them, you can actually create a workflow that includes all of that. So you can just put it into a workflow. So if I click add workflow, and we'll call this, home value, name everything the same, campaign, right? Home value campaign, boom. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to assign a flag called, let's just do Facebook lead, right? Or, prospect, oops. Listing prospect, right? And they flagged them listing prospect. Add a step. I'm going to assign an autoresponder, home value autoresponder, which has my 3-step. Add one more step, assign a single to do, call prospect. Okay. So there you go. So now if I go back into my landing pages, whoops, I pull up my home value landing page and go to actions. All I'm going to do is apply autoresponder. I don't even have to do any of this stuff because I did that all in my workflow, right? I also want to get an email notification. Cool. Kathy at Gmail, whatever your email address is, right? And I'm going to apply a workflow. Home value campaign. Boom. So now once people put their information in, they're going to get the autoresponder. They're going to be put in your to-do list to call automatically, right? Now you can run the campaign. I should have showed you that earlier, but I took for granted. I thought you guys all knew how to do that. All right. Jim Haley says, contact realtors, make calls and do the follow-up. Yeah. So as part of this, the Real Loan Originator Academy that we're creating is making you a stud, lethal phone scripts, meeting scripts at targeting realtors, because you only get one shot, as Eminem says, right? Do not miss your chance, and you want to be prepared and you want to be good. Okay. Let's see what else I got. How can I value my commercial real estate, says Michael Rishwine. How can I value my commercial real estate? Well, let me make sure, Mike, let me unmute you, my friend, because I want to make sure I understand what your question is. Mike, are you there? All right. Can't get you. There you are. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. How are you, buddy?
Good, thank you. No,
Good.
that was just a comment that I'll do a funnel saying, you know, for buyers, or for owners, how can I value my commercial real estate?
Right.
You know, there's lots of that stuff available in Zillow for residential and everything else, but there really isn't anything like that in commercial.
Right. Yeah. So I mean,
I've got to be able to provide them with some rough information on how to evaluate. Maybe that'll drive some business.
Oh, absolutely. That's a good idea. It's a great idea. Absolutely. You know your exact value of your commercial real estate, and then maybe you create a quick video that says, hi, and I think videos are good because now people they covet what they can see and hear, you know what I mean? More so than just, text. So if you create a quick video, pop it on YouTube, put it in there, and then you can introduce yourself to people and hey, no questions asked, and come out and take a look at your property and see what we can do to help you out, So very good idea. So guys, it's 12:07. I've got a 1 o'clock and I've got some prep work to do before my 1 o'clock. Two things. Let's see, Sherry Walkowitz, if you have a question, let me know. Let me see. Sherry, do you have a question? Yeah, I got you unmuted, Sherry. How are you? Okay. All right. Apparently not. Okay. Good to go. Okay. Guys, was this helpful to you today? We covered a couple things. We talked about follow-up. We talked about a real-life example of mistakes that realtors and loan officers make. We talked about diligence. We talked about organization. We talked about scripts. We showed you the Spider, how to create a landing page again in Spider. I just showed you guys how to set up an autoresponder and make sure that you have a sales funnel that has an autoresponder and a workflow. We showed you how to attach that to your WordPress website if we built it for you. And we showed you how to do a Facebook ad, all in 1 hour. So, and I recorded this so you can watch it again if you move a little bit slower, if you felt that some of the clicks were fast, etc. I recorded this and it'll be part of my YouTube channel. You get an email with a copy of it. You can take a look at it to go after it again if you'd like to. Then we talked about Loan Officer Academy, which if you loan originators, I'm not going to call you unless you write down I'm interested. Just let me know if you're interested in hearing what we're doing there. It's a couple things. It's how to attack realtors, scripts and dialogues for your past clients, specific strategies for that, and also how to do presentations. Okay, how to become an absolute pro in your market. How to do presentations to real estate offices. Head and shoulders make you far greater than any other loan originator in your marketplace. I mean, you guys saw Brian Bailey speak. He was pretty good, right? Can you imagine if you were 80% as good as Brian? Okay, even 50% as good as Brian. All right, if you were 50%